I bet Emmanuel Macron probably said "Sacre bleu" when seeing this footage back.
We wish him well. We want him to get well. It's a very serious situation, but we do want him to get well.
As I'm saying "Sacre bleu" when it comes to looking at the larger financial and economic prospects of the United States, as even though Deutsche is on a tear and there's some really incredible news happening with the IRS recently, Republicans just passed a debt increase, and there's some Republican influencers celebrating it because of things that are not even in the bill and budgetary procedures, as there's one man, an outliner throughout all of this, that is actually standing his ground and fighting the principled fight. As financially, it's fair to say the United States is in a big mess. Elon Musk just hinted that it's in a bigger mess than a lot of people have expected, while in Argentina, we are finally seeing the model, the way, and a path forward. As Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, he's not only launching crap coins, which isn't, isn't the best sign when your country gets rug pulled, but he is also just celebrating his first year in office by announcing that he's going to be reducing national taxes by 90%. You heard that correctly. 90% national tax reduction. Major news, huge news, news that I think we're slowly and surely laying down the groundwork to help envision, to help manifest, to help create this same kind of scenario here in the United States. As of course, there's a big kind of bromance between Javier Milei, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump, as the three were recently at CPAC all together. And it's fair to say that Javier Milei definitely is proving that this larger model of cutting government, cutting regulations, cutting taxes, allowing people to actually keep their own money, allowing people to create their own enterprises and businesses and provide services for other Americans without the government acting like a mafioso middleman, is the way forward. As truly, I think we are on that path, but there's going to be some significant hurdles along the way, as the Washington Post is also reporting that there will be 120 IRS offices that will be closing down, with my official response to this being, yes, please, more, all of them. Just get rid of all of them. We don't need an IRS. An IRS is, in my opinion, an absolute criminal theft organization that has been extremely unfair to the American people. I mean, the system, just the way it operates, just the way it runs, saying, we know exactly how much you owe, but we're not going to tell you. And you get it wrong, we'll penalize you. They create whole entire industries that are pointless. They waste so much of our money. And then when we do give them our money, what do? They give it to USAID to make the world gayer and promote woke, leftist, liberal causes, while, of course, censoring my voice online with social media and larger kind of activist campaigns that were meant to pull advertisers from anyone daring and willing to actually speak the truth to the American public. So now seeing this kind of predatory theft office and organization being slowly and surely dismantled, seeing Trump launch the ERS, seeing Trump send 80,000 plus and announce that he's going to be sending the 80,000 plus IRS agents down to the southern border, and now officially closing 120 offices nationwide, is highlighting how we are fastly moving towards upending this entire broken system. And it's a broken system, but it feels like it's going to get a little bit more broken with the latest actions from Republicans that just voted to increase our debt. Yes, you heard that correctly. The House Republicans just passed a budget resolution that was somehow backed by Donald Trump that, according to some people, will be having massive tax cuts, no tax on tips, and no tax on Social Security, except there's one strange thing about this. When you look at the budget resolution and you look at what's really going on here, it doesn't say any of that. As there are a lot of people on social media saying, yes, the Democrats hate working people. Well, House Republicans didn't do anyone any favors here, as Republican Congressman Thomas Macy was one of the few Republicans that actually voted no. 212 Democrats voted no. And of course, 217 Republicans voted yes, which allowed this budget kind of debt increase to pass here. But in the budget, and again, a lot of people are getting this wrong, there's nothing about taxes on tip. There's nothing about taxes on overtime, as a lot of people are saying this needs to be done through separate legislation, which I hope it is. And I hope those very populist kind of policies do pass. They were promised by Donald Trump by the campaign trail, and I do see him trying to achieve this. And I do hope that the House Republicans do stick on this very important matter, as we had a warning by this brave man coming forward and warning people, hey, I can't vote for this bill. The only Republican that said, no, I'm not going to go along with this, as Thomas Macy responded to and explained why in this particular video.
Yeah. Can you just talk to us? Are you still a no? Is there anything?
They convinced me in there. I'm a no.
Is there anything?
Look what, let me, their own numbers. If the Republican plan passes under the rosiest assumptions, which aren't even true, we're going to add $328 billion to the deficit this year.
This year, people are saying, kick the can down. This year, $328 billion deficit. Why are we voting for this? Excuse me.
We're going to add $295 billion to the deficit the year after that, and $242 billion to the deficit after that, under the rosiest assumptions. Why would I vote for that?
So are you solidly a no?
Yeah, they convinced me. I was a lean no until this meeting. Now
And
I'm a
then
no.
This no confirmed.
This is
you
a
were
no.
Why? Why?
They're
What-
talking points. Look. These are not something I made up. This is the leadership's talking points. It adds $328 billion to the deficit.
Yeah, that's a lot of freaking money that a lot of people don't want to be spent here. As, of course, looking at the larger kind of deficits, they're only increasing in fast, huge freaking sums, to the point where even Elon Musk has described the deficit is even worse than expected. Fraud and waste accelerated massively under the Biden administration, and it's still continuing under the Trump administration as well here, which needs to be brought up with a larger kind of point here, with the larger perspective of people saying, hey, you know, we can't just celebrate something that someone anonymously kind of posted that was absolutely wrong here, no matter how much we want it to kind of happen here. We need to talk about balancing the budget. We need to talk about the deficit. We need to talk about the debt. We need to talk about how much interest are we paying on all of this and the larger kind of financial system, which seems absolutely rigged against the American people. But before getting into that, we faced our own IRS troubles, right? A month right before the election. About in October or September. I forgot what it was, but it was around then. IRS comes in. Give us all of your money and all the thing you have ever earned. I'm like, what? Excuse me. Explain it to me. What's going on here? No explanation. No reason. You got to figure it. You go figure it out. Call the accountants. I'm like, what the world's going on here? Yeah. Keep trying to call them. Or get a lawyer. Lawyer's like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you here, buddy. As insane situation that I had to deal with the IRS kind of hanging up on me. And the only reason I'm still here is because some people have decided in that face of that larger kind of financial attack on us to sign up to lukeunfiltered.com. It doesn't cost a lot if you're not, if you're not doing financially well. I don't want you to sign up. But if you're doing okay, 20 cents a day, that's all it costs. One Starbucks Yuppie latte. That's all it costs for a month. If you can afford it, $15 means a lot. $99 means a lot too. Whatever you can afford. Some people have just too much money they don't know what to do with. Check out lukeunfiltered.com, where we have a lot of educational resources about making you the strongest, best, most amazing version of yourself. We have these little amazing seed oil cards that you could download, that you could print out, go to your favorite restaurant and hand them out. You have a crap list of things that you should be avoiding at the supermarket, download it on your phone, and literally walking around the supermarket, look at your favorite items like, oh, this poisons me, this kills me, this gives me butt cancer. I don't want any of that. And then just get rid of those things in your life that, of course, do not serve you. I give you guys a lot of behind-the-scenes access. I give you guys videos before they get released. And, of course, more importantly, I give you one-on-one access where we could talk, we could chat specifically to the Telegram channel, and then we do really cool things like in real-life meetups and, of course, range danges that are coming up on March 16th, which are going to be really fun here. So moving away from all the kind of larger disinformation that we heard here, I think what Thomas Massey is saying should be resonating with a lot of the American public here. That should be scratching their head, being like, yo, stop taking the money. Stop printing it. Just stop.
It adds $295 billion to the deficit the year after that. The only way they get to this magic thing where it's not going to kill our country is 5 years from now, they imagine that 2.5% growth accumulates. And that even right here, they say they're going to cap discretionary spending. You think we're going to cap discretionary spending and then spend at the rate of inflation after that? That has never happened. So their assumptions are wrong. But even if you take their assumptions at face value, they told us in there they're going to increase the deficit in 2025 by $328 billion. And I've been here long enough. I've been here 12 years, so I've seen a 10-year plan or two come all the way to 10 years. Under Boehner, we had these 10-year plans. Under Ryan, we had these 10-year plans. Anything past the third year never happens.
Yep, as all of those Republicans just failed. And the people before us, the Democrats specifically, and also, let's be honest here, the Republicans before us failed us. As right now, our debt is a train out of control. When Thomas Massey said, hey, I'm trying to save this country. I'm trying to make sure this country doesn't get taken out because of this massive debt. He means it. It's a serious thing, as the financial security of this country isn't guaranteed, as the deficit this year for the federal budget is $838 billion. Just the first 4 months have produced a deficit of $838 billion. That's $306 billion more than a deficit it recorded in the same period in the last fiscal year. We're running on a $2.5 trillion annual deficit, and there's still some crazy people online saying, no accountability, no transparency, no, we cannot find out what's happening behind closed doors. We cannot find out where our money's going to. Are you freaking kidding me? And these people that are literally claiming that Deutsche is somehow related to the fascistic practices of the Germans in the 1930s. These people are crazy. These jobs need to get cut. These budgets need to be cut. The language needs to be about the larger severity of this larger economic problem that we are all facing, as Donald Trump is thinking about new, innovative, creative ways of dealing with this, as he has just announced a $5 million gold card to foreigners, which are essentially green cards that allows them to have sort of a citizenship, just like a green card, but they pay for it. A lot of other countries do this, specifically in the Caribbean, allows them to have a tax haven. And overall, hey, innovative idea. It definitely looks like a businessman is in there and not a bureaucrat and not a career politician that has been just running up the debt forever. So will this be enough? No, not enough. Especially even if let's just say hundreds and thousands of people sign up. The level of money that is still just being wasted away is absolutely crazy. And now there's even activist judges coming out and saying, yeah, you know what, Trump, you're going to have to give all the foreign aid money. You're going to have to take more of our money that has been borrowed and printed and is pretty much bet against the future of this. You're going to have to give it to all these foreign rich people. No, that's what a judge ruled. Thank goodness the Supreme Court, in the making of this video, by the way, just ruled specifically that no, Trump is not going to be forced to give foreign aid when he doesn't want to give foreign aid as the president of the United States. Thank goodness. The fact that we even have to have official court proceedings, the fact that the Supreme Court has to intervene here, the fact that a judge has to fight, saying, no, the extortion racket, the money laundering needs to continue, is absolutely crazy. The people in the mainstream media are losing their ish. Bernie Sanders and all these other plutocrats losing their ish. Good. I absolutely love it. They need to lose a lot of it, as of course they lost our money. They lost our trust. They lost our kind of larger participation in the system that used and abused us and took us for granted. Right now, We're under a new day and age where I think a lot of people aren't under that spell. A lot of people are asking some very serious questions, and they're saying, hey, as Republicans, can we just not spend so much? As I think the vast majority of people out there are kind of scratching their heads as now this bill goes to the Senate. If it's passed in the Senate, which a lot of people expect it to be passed, it will go on the desk of Donald J. Trump. Will Donald pass this? Well, all signs for right now are pointing to yes, but if there's enough of a swell, if there's enough people saying, hey, no, we don't want this, there's a bigger probability of him saying no. It all depends on the public pressure. It all depends on the conversation, which I think is more important than ever. If you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. The conversation is starting with you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys participating in this independent media broadcast, and that's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all exclusively here on youtube.com/WeAreChange.